Sanjjanaa Galrani, who's a Sandalwood insider. She's worked at various other southern film industries as well, including Malayalam. Sanjjanaa, thanks very much for joining us. Sanjjanaa, we're looking at a committee that has been formed in Kerala, the Hema Committee, which has literally sent shockwaves across various southern film industries, including Sandalwood. You have acted immensely within the Sandalwood film industry in Kannada. Have you faced any aspect of sexual abuse or sexual misconduct from anyone that you want to speak about? And what do you feel about this committee that's been proposed?
So this happened to me in my initial days when I happened to come into the film industry, that I happened to sign a certain film, and whatever happened to me in front of the camera. So I was told that it's going to be a minimalistically glamorous film. But after I signed the film and I went on the location, I was continuously forced to be doing scenes saying it's good for the film, do it. It's good for the film, do it. And I was as young as a 16 and a half to 17-year-old. And then I was told things like, oh, if you go against the director, you will get banned in the film industry. You will not have a career of your own. This is going to be
You were explicitly told that
it will be
can't
only because
refuse.
of you and because of you opposing to do these bold scenes in the film. And then there was a point in time during the last, Me Too phase when I happened to speak about it. And then when I happened to speak about it, there were so many people who opposed me. They were like, why are you speaking about such an old topic? I'm like, I'm just speaking out my experience.
Yeah.
Don't I have the rights to say what has happened with me and what I have gone through as a person? Because even today I am 55 films old. I work with Mohanlal, I work with Mammootty, I work with Prabhas, I work with Shivraj Kumar, Darshan, some of the finest of the stars in South India. I have worked in Hindi television. So I have certainly moved on. But whatever has happened with me, I had the rights of giving in my experience so that somebody else learns out of it. And somebody else doesn't give in to the pressure of the moment. Nothing happened to me behind the camera, because I knew how to protect myself behind the camera. But I was put this professional burden and professional pressure that you have to listen to, the directions that you're given by your director. Otherwise, you'll not be an obedient artist. It's not going to be good for the reputation of your film career. And later on, the consequences after this film release, my life was very tough for 2 or 3 years until I could resurface and fight it back and get more opportunities. It's really very tough. So when a woman is coming into the industry when she's 17 or 18 or 19,
yeah,
we need
what an
some
impression
kind of
this
a
would
woman
create.
committee who can guide us what we have to do, what we should and what we don't have to do, what are our rights, what are not our rights, what is it that you can say no to firmly. And we need like basic education for really young women. I'm not playing the victim card right now. I am very proud of every struggle that I have gone through and I have moved on. But however, I feel really bad imagine if I would have never made it in my career. I wouldn't have been sitting here. I
have a question to ask
imagine
you,
if I
Sanjjanaa.
wouldn't, and imagine about so many other girls who went through something like this and they didn't make it in their career. Their life is doomed. They would be petrified or paranoid to be coming into the film industry.
Yeah.
And during that time, I was so badly cornered that I spoke. Why is she speaking? Ban her from the film industry. Why is she talking about her 10-year-old experience? Why? And so much of pressure put by so many other men instead of pitifying that, okay, she just spoke about her experience. I didn't want to harm anyone's career. But any which ways, the particular crew who happened to do all this to me, they are completely out of the industry. That is another story altogether. The director who happened to corner me is completely out of his own opportunities. I don't want to be taking names here because I don't want to put people who are totally out of the news into limelight unnecessarily. It's not that I fear anyone.
No,
so that even if they come
naming and
to me,
shaming them is one step to getting justice, at least, right? That's the least that you can do and you should do. I have a question for you, Sanjjanaa. As much as you say that it did not affect you, you continue to do films. I can only imagine the number of women who may have faced an ouster. I want to particularly ask you about this case where Arjun Sarja, who is a very famous popular star in South India, he was accused of sexual misconduct by actress Shruti Hariharan. Would you want to tell us a little more? Because I remember covering it during that time when this even happened. Arjun Sarja, of course, denied the allegations. Shruti Hariharan was quite adamant on what had happened. She supported the Me Too movement. She spoke up about what had happened to her. And she was a thriving actress. She was really, raring to go. A brilliant artist. And would you tell us what do you think happened there? We know that there was a closure report that came in from the Karnataka police itself. That Arjun Sarja got a closure report. The case was done and sealed, done with.
I think when things like this happen, when it's a one-on-one Me Too act, there's a lack of evidence because it would have happened a couple of years ago. And then, of course, there would be no SMSs that you have saved or no call logs that you have saved or no call recordings. So there is some kind of a supportive evidence which is required for that moment. And that is what we go through. But let's just address the root cause of the entire issue, not about one actor against another. The root cause is when women enter the film industry, there's no one to educate them about how they have to take care of themselves. Therefore, we need a committee like a HEMA committee. HEMA committee out here is pointing out at people who are doing sexual misconducts. But we need a committee of women. We need a board of women who can just simply sit down and say, okay, you're new in the film industry. Why don't you come here and enroll as an artist? And here are your do's and don'ts. And this is how you need to take care of yourself.
Isn't FIRE doing just that?
Educative board.
The FIRE, the committee called FIRE, an organization that's called FIRE, where you have Chetan and the likes. In fact, FIRE is the one that's actually shot off that letter. Isn't FIRE doing that job to sort of address?
FIRE is trying to do it, and I hope that they succeed in what they're trying to do. So FIRE is trying to identify people who have been sexual victims and get them justice through a retired judge. But my point is that once I hope that FIRE really succeeds in what they're doing, because
of course.
There's so many requests that go to the
Sanjjanaa, do you believe a quick word from you, do you believe that there is a coterie within the Kannada film industry that can't be breached, that is also powerful, something that what we heard of in Malayalam film industry, that those are the allegations, that there's a coterie, they are super powerful, and they carry out such illegalities and sexual abuses because of the power and strength they hold? Do you believe that even in Kannada film industry there is a coterie like that can't be breached and they get away with anything?
There's no coterie which cannot be breached in the Kannada film industry. But one thing is that if you start talking or if you are outspoken about things, then your opportunities automatically are silent.
Okay.
If you are silent and if you're very tolerative, then you have more and more opportunities. That is the fact.
Just as we see in most other industries, similar allegations there as well. But Sanjjanaa, on this front, thank you very much. But I will request you to stay with us. I want your comment on Darshan, actor Darshan, and the allegations against him of murder. In fact, I will come back to you on that. Please do stay with us. Let me take you through more updates that's coming in on the Darshan case. The one man who's almighty, he was once almighty within the Kannada film industry. He's now been accused of murder. The probe has now come out with an extensive charge sheet that all the more implicates Darshan's role in the case. As it continues, Renuka Swami's murder case probe, Sandalwood actor Darshan, his partner Pavitra Gowda and 15 others who were arrested for plotting, allegedly, the execution of Renuka Swami, Darshan's fan. The Bengaluru police has now finally come up with a charge sheet, and it has submitted that charge sheet to the 24th ACMM court in Bengaluru. The police have collected over 200 pieces of evidences, which is very crucial. Blood stains, we believe, as part of that charge sheet, has been found on Darshan's clothes and on the clothes of the accused here. In fact, Pavitra Gowda's slippers had blood stains in it. The FSL reports have confirmed that. A photograph has also now emerged that shows Renuka Swami begging and pleading, asking those people who are beating him to stop. That's another incriminating photo that, again, it involves and implicates Darshan quite clearly. Another evidence of CCTV also showing Darshan going in and out of that shed where Renuka Swami was murdered. Now, these are the allegations, and it's all detailed down in the charge sheet that's been submitted in court. Pavitra Gowda, of course, continues to stay in jail despite her bail appeal, which was rejected. She still remains in jail while Darshan has now been moved from Parappanagrahara to Bellary prison because he was getting VVIP treatment there. If Sanjjana is still with me, if I could quickly take this to Anaga is also our correspondent joining us. But Sanjjanaa Galrani, on Darshan's murder case, he's been accused of murder. He's been in prison, and despite having enough evidence here, we're looking at VVIP treatment being given to him. Could you tell us the clout that Darshan holds? He was one of those in that coterie, as far as I know.
It's it's been like the dooms month in the Kannada film industry for the last 3 months. We hardly have 5 or 6 very active superstars like Darshan who really contribute to the economy of the industry. And ever since this has happened, all of us have been heartbroken. All of us have been shattered. This was completely unnecessarily a very unnecessary event that has happened in his life or in the life of that poor man, Renuka Swami. And here, the allegations also say that this is being done by the subordinates or his friends. Darshan's
so Sanjjana, what I gather from you is that you are not, you're unwilling to accept the fact that Darshan has been accused of murder. That you don't want to believe.
A person like Darshan would murder someone with his hands, knowing him in person. It's not that I'm favoring him here because I have any kind of affection or love with him, but Darshan, the person that we know him in person, he would not murder anyone. It's definitely done by his close subordinates. But yes, this has happened because of Darshan and his fans. All these guys, the entire
blind
gang of guys,
this blind faith, the blind adulation, blind love towards an actor. Do you think Darshan's case is the classic example here? Because we have enough evidence that the police has presented in court suggesting that Darshan went into that shed, exited that shed, beat Renuka Swami, set the tone for his subordinates to carry on with the murder. So he did it as per the police. These are allegations that they need to prove, but the police has enough evidence to show that he was the one who ordered that murder.
No, I don't think he would have ordered the murder. Being a well-wisher of his, I hope that's not true. But let me tell you, it's a charge sheet and we have to respect it. We can't do a media trial. And we have to respect the cops for putting together a 4,000-page charge sheet. It's quite a lot of work. The last 3 months have been sleepless nights for the cops.
So you refuse to believe it? Well, let's just wait for the conviction to happen, if at all.
The conviction should not happen, dear Nabila. I hope the conviction does not happen. And because he's done a whole lot of good work also, which has completely gone.
None of it is justified. None of it is justified if he really has murdered this man. But Sanjjana, thank you very much.
I hope he comes out clean. We are all hoping, as a Kannada film industry candidate, we look at him as a person from our family. We hope he's not done anything with his own hands physically. Of course, yes, this has happened because people love him a lot and by the people who he knows. But it's tough for me to believe that Darshan would use his own hands.
I really hope the guilty is punished. Thank you very much, Sanjjana. Thank you.